This is my first modified Swiss Army knife, and I took apart a bunch of other Swiss Army knives, and I made it a 6-blade. I took the 3 main blades and the 3 small blades, and I put them all on the same frame. I also replaced the corkscrew with a ferrocerium rod. The idea is that this is for long-term bushcraft and survival. So if the first blade is dull, and then the second blade is dull, hopefully the third blade will still be sharp. And you don't have to sharpen it in the field because you have a couple of blades to go through before you have to sharpen again. It also has a saw, and it has 3 reamer awls, not so much because I need them, but because in order for the back springs to function on the blades, that reamer awl with a sewing eye in it needs to be in place. I've also found it handy with all 3 blades out. If you want to, say, shred something like bark, you put all 3 blades out and you can make a lot of cuts. I don't want to get into the disassembly, tool swapping, and reassembly because that's a whole lengthy other video. But here's how I replaced the corkscrew with a ferrocerium rod. I buy Baylite ferrocerium rods. They're the cheap ones that you get on Amazon. And I took a grinder and a file to it, and I shaped it to be almost identical to the socket that the corkscrew comes with. The ferrocerium rod is much longer, so I had to shorten it, and I also flattened one side of it so that it fits because it's a bit wider than the corkscrew. Here's the fun part. It's shaping the ferrocerium with a file because you get lots of sparks. I made sure to sweep up any sawdust or move a bucket of oily rags out of the way. Ferrocerium is very soft and easy to work with. It's easy to drill through and easy to file. So shaping it doesn't really take that long. It just takes a lot of attention to detail and getting it to fit just right. So the ferro rod replaces the corkscrew. I realize I really don't think I've opened a wine bottle with my corkscrew since 1992. So the corkscrew is kind of useless as a survival tool. To keep the whole thing at 4 layers, I also removed the bottle opener, can opener layer. I already have a bottle opener, can opener, the Leatherman I carry every day. And also, if this is all you have, then you can just get creative at opening bottles and cans. If I was in a situation where I needed to start a fire, and this was the only tool I have, I could easily snap off the ferrocerium rod and scrape it with one of the knife blades. Ferrocerium is very brittle. To use this normally, like if I was going to scrape it with the saw on my Leatherman tool, I would not use it in the perpendicular position like you use a corkscrew. I would keep it folded down and use the knife as a handle and scrape it like that. The whole idea of the ferro rod being permanently attached is that you don't lose it and you have fewer items to worry about when you're carrying it into the wilderness.